Hello again. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it may be for you. This is day 19 of the Shadow series. And this is the third day that we're talking about fear. And today we're going to talk about what fear another way that fear doesn't do good things for us, and also some things that we can do about it. Okay, but I do want to give you one final example about fear and the effect that it has on us. Fear not only feeds negativity, fear not only creates shadow in the way that we've talked about it in the past 2 days, but it also actually brings to our doorstep the things we fear. And the first example that I'm going to give you is from the animal world, right? So if you imagine a rabbit, right, and it senses that a coyote is near, or it thinks a coyote may be near, maybe it heard twigs snapping nearby or something. So the rabbit immediately goes into fear mode, right? And tap, 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 that may be, I think that's a woodpecker, not a rabbit. Immediately its heart starts to beat really quickly, right? And it even puts out a scent. We know scientifically fear has a scent. Fear on us has a scent too. Dogs can sense that, right, when we're fearful, and they react to that, right? But a rabbit is putting out its like fear pheromone, and its heart is beating fast. And those two things make it easier for the coyote to find it and eat it. So the very fact that it became fearful helped the coyote find it and eat it, right? Which is what it feared, right? So how does that play out in terms of us? We're not rabbits. We're not being hunted by coyotes. So I'm first going to give you a psychological explanation, and then I'll give you an energetic explanation. Okay. The psychological explanation is that when you get in your mind this idea that something's going to happen, right, that you fear something happening, and you think about it and you think about it and you think about it, right, you actually get into what I'm sure you've heard the term, the self-fulfilling prophecy, right? You start to actually do things, maybe even subconsciously, to make those things happen, right? You're so sure it's going to happen, you actually make it happen, right? You start doing things that make that thing that you don't want to happen, right? Because you're obsessing about this fear, and you're having this fear, and you're vortexing about these things that you don't want to happen. So then you actually begin to do things to make them happen, a self-fulfilling prophecy. So that's the psychological explanation. Energetically, when you put out fear into the universe, let's say, okay, into the energetic field, the universe doesn't have a way of saying, oh, this is a good thing or a bad thing, right? The energetic field is the energetic field. So when you put out that fear energy, that fear vibration, and you're focused on what you're fearful of, you're going to bring it to you, right? Because the universe is going to be like, oh, she's focusing on that. Look at how much energy she's putting in that. She must want that. Let's bring it. That is not what you want to do, right? So that brings us to what you can do to stop it, right? We often find, and I know that you've all experienced this in the same way that I have and that I do, okay, that you get into a fear vortex, right? That you things happen, and you start to think, oh my God, what if that happens? And what if that happens? And then your heart starts to beat faster like the little rabbit, right? And then maybe you even start to sweat. Maybe you even have a panic. Maybe you work yourself into a panic attack. But you get into this fear vortex. And I know this can happen a lot, say at 2:00 in the morning, or when you're trying to fall asleep, right? That you get into this round of thoughts it just creates fear, right? So in order to get out of that, and remembering, okay, I don't want to start actually doing things that are going to make it a self-fulfilling prophecy and make these things happen, nor do I want to put that energy, if that's the way that I think about things, into the energetic field to bring me the things that I don't want, right? When you find yourself in the fear vortex, say to yourself, stop. And I think I've mentioned before, imagine a big stop sign, right? Just stop, and start visualizing what you want, right? go in the opposite direction. Instead of focusing on what you fear, focus on what it is that you want. Focus on what you want to happen, right? Focus on visualize, literally sit there and visualize how your day would be different. Visualize what you want to happen. Visualize how you want it to happen. Visualize the actual steps it's going to take to get there. And if you don't know what they are, just give it up and just focus on visualizing that thing, right? Focus on visualizing that job, or focus on visualizing, getting that money or getting whatever it is that you need, instead of being in a fear of lack, right? Focus on what you do want. Visualize what you do want. Okay? Because anything, well, I'm going to save that for tomorrow. I guess there's going to be another thing about fear tomorrow. But what I want to leave you with today is this idea that putting out fear, focusing on fear, staying in a state of fear will keep you from getting what you want. Right? It will literally keep you, and it will bring the things to you that you don't want. Okay? And you have control over this. Again, that's the most beautiful thing about this. You have control over this. They are thoughts. You can stop them. You can change them. You can visualize something different. And that's what I'm telling you to do. Okay? Well, I'm sorry. I don't want to tell you to do anything. I don't tell you to do anything. I'm suggesting that you do it. I'm strongly suggesting you do it. I am inviting you to do it. I don't think anybody wants to sit in fear. I know I don't. So when I start down that fear road, I think, all right, stop. What's the opposite of what I'm thinking about right now? What is it that I want to happen instead of what I fear? So that's what I'm going to leave you with today. Think about what you want instead of what you fear. And then I was listening to, and if you need to raise your vibration, again, dance, listen to music that makes you happy. Okay. I was listening today to some music and one of my all-time favorite songs is England Dan and John Ford Coley. I know I'm dating myself. Love is the answer. And that's really what it is. Love is the antidote to fear, and in their words, if you go listen to the song, it's, when you're down, when you're lost and afraid, love one another. When you're down and out, love one another. So that's another way to think about it, right? Just think about what you love and not what you fear. Think about what you want to happen. Think about where your joy is, not what you fear. Don't focus on your fear. Let your fear go. Just focus on what you want. And have a great day. Mwah!